Upon entering the village, there are multiple signs all throughout that give a detailed description of Jim Corbett and his life here at Chotty. Inside the community restaurant and reading area lies a portrayal of Chotty over the last 15 years since CGVS has initiated their community-based ecotourism. As well as the signs in the restaurant, there are many others spread across the village, written in both Hindi and English to accommodate for both domestic and foreign tourists. These signs give a glimpse of life here in Chotty in the times of Jim Corbett and the efforts he made to improve its health and safety. Another form of interpretation was evident through our guides giving meanings to places, people, things, and objects.
They eat the leaf and the flower of the tomato.
Yeah.
So this thing will keep them away, and
Within Chotty, members of the CGVS and the government are fighting hard to transition the community into a completely organic farming town. We will explain the benefits of the transition to chemical-free farming.
Cost is very high,
Yeah.
but not good, but good for health. Not good chemical farming.
Yeah.
The organic is good.
Yeah.
Good for health, good for environment, good for birds, good for everything.
There are 40 out of 150 farmers currently on board across Chotty who are receiving free education, seeds and earthworms to help with their composting.
only 10% they have to pay,
Yeah.
and the entire 90% is as a free. Till 7 years, the government will take care of
Maintenance of
the maintenance and all the stuff. Anything
For 7 years?
7 years, and you have to keep it that the project till 21 years, and in between 20 years the particular organization they'll deposit some money for the particular
Women.
Overall, the organic farming played a huge part in our stay at Chotty. We were explained why they were all so passionate for the cause and how much better it is, not only for the environment but also for the community members, for both health and economic reasons. As well as this, we learned that the residents of Delhi travelled to Chotty to purchase their organic products due to the knowledge that the produce is of a certain quality. This therefore enhances the number of domestic tourists visiting. This community and the CGVS group also pride themselves on being eco-based. Therefore, the transition from chemical to organic farming will only help enhance this and display a positive reputation of the community. CGVS list on their website that one of the highlights of the trip to Chotty is education of crop cultivation and the understanding of farming, which helps sensitise people towards conservation and deepen commitment towards taking care of the planet. The in-depth teaching of organic farming was a good interactive way to encourage smarter choices for tourists whilst travelling and at home. I believe that they have an extended first stage of the graph between stages 1 and 2, which is due to a lack of tourists, as they are roughly only seeing about 4 to 6 visitors each month, which ensures that our presence within the village is not a burden or an annoyance, but rather an encouraged event.
But we have not proper work. If I get everyday tourists, then it's good for me.
Yeah.
It will brush up my knowledge also. If once in a month, if I get few tourists, then I'll forget everything.
Yeah.
Again, the encouragement we received from our homestay family to come back and visit again reassured us that the tourists were made very welcome in Chotty Halwandi. The CGVS group prides itself on its take on community-based ecotourism, which is evident throughout Chotty. There are also 10 homestays available within, which are all accustomed to different needs. Along with the homestays, there are other ways in which the community can benefit from the tourism. These include visits to local sites, which are situated on local properties where a charge is incurred, which is then passed on to the family.
The CBT, CBT, community-based tourism. This family managed by Iron Foundry. The maintenance and some cleaning and safai.
To make sure
And,
people can keep coming
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's safe.
It's involved to CBT concept.
The Jim Corbett Museum also housed a souvenir shop which sold many local spices, teas, honeys and chutneys, which were all locally grown from 45 surrounding farmers that lived in Choti. 90% of the profits made were passed back onto the farmers and the other 10% was passed on to the CGVS. While CGVS was working very hard to ensure that there was participation across a lot of the community members, it was hard to ignore some signs that they were lacking in areas of benefit distribution. When talking to Mohan about who cooks our meals, he mentioned previously that there was a village cook, but he had sadly passed away last year, and that now the responsibility was being shared amongst the members as a secondary source of income. However, upon further questioning about how the rostering of this system would work, it was evident that it was just him and his wife and family that did the cooking for the visitors. It had also been mentioned by our homestaying family that there was a bit of tension between her and the CGVS, as she believed she wasn't getting paid an equal payment or share in the profits. Our stay at Choti was a really enjoyable experience. We got to stay with an amazing family who opened their doors to almost complete strangers but still made us feel very safe and at home. Our guides were very knowledgeable and made it an enjoyable experience by sharing stories that gave a deeper understanding to their culture. And although not running off huge profits and capital gain, the social capital that they had built between the community members and tourists was a really encouraging experience. Even though there are some areas which could be improved, overall our stay really did show the benefits of community-based ecotourism could bring to a village.